I'm your host, Jason Turner, and today I'm going to talk about a film that may have slipped under the radar. Hunter Prey. The plot basically involves a set of commandos that have crash landed on a desert planet. They have an escaped convict that they have to track down. They have to go get the prisoner. And he slowly picks them off one by one. Not only against each other, but they're also facing their environment. It's a harsh desert kind of environment. This sounds like a lot of science fiction that you may have encountered before. The effects in the film are very minimal, and they make good use of the atmosphere that is set in the location. This was a lower budget film, but when we say lower budget, we're not talking about, a new set of tires lower budget. We're talking about, I think, just under $500,000, I believe, is the budget. For a science fiction film, that is extremely, extremely low budget. Science fiction is probably one of the most expensive things you could ever dive into as a filmmaker. They've attacked this very well. They took a big concept and basically boiled it down to two characters facing off against each other. Very similar to Enemy Mine. The art style and the concept kind of borrows a little bit from Star Wars. Kind of remind you of something from Halo or Killzone, or Boba Fett meets a stormtrooper kind of thing. But people might make those comparisons, but when you take a really good look at it, I challenge you to do better than these people did. This film looks great. Some of the props that they use are, they're probably toys that have just been repainted, but that's what you got to do if you don't have a lot of money. You got to be creative and make something from the heart that was, and that's apparently what these people have done. The pacing is a little bit slower than I would personally prefer, but for the story and the conflict that is ensuing, it works well for this piece. Hunter Prey is a very, very interesting film because it comes from a different type of production. There are fan-made films, such as hobbyist, low-budget indie films, and then there's the big high-end production films, such as, big science fiction epics. This film is kind of in between. It's made by a film director named Sandy Cholera and his crew. And Sandy Cholera is a professional effects artist, and I believe that's what his background is. I don't know the exact story on him, but all you have to do is check out a fan film that he made called Batman Dead End. That's probably one of the most popular and best looking fan films ever made. That being said, he made a few other films, and they were all based on comic book type properties, high fantasy type concepts. And essentially what he has done is he has made a film that basically encapsulates all of his skills as an effects artist, and with a comic book sensibility and maybe kind of a heavy metal Star Wars-y Enemy Mine, Halo kind of feel. He's made a short 70s style retro kind of science fiction film. It's probably something that is not going to appeal to everybody. It's more of a hardcore science fiction type film. But if you check it out, I think you'll enjoy it if you're that type of fan. The world is becoming so open to new science fiction and the possibility that everybody is going to be watching them and embracing them. It's almost as if something, not to sound weird, but like nerd culture. People have called it maybe nerd culture. I don't understand that exactly, but essentially, everything that used to be kind of looked down upon is now popular. So there is a flood of, low budget, high budget, all kinds of science fiction coming back into the public consciousness. I would recommend it highly. I would say, come into it with an open mind, and just remember that making movies is very hard. It's really funny to me how many people will criticize, oh, that looks just like something else, that looks like crap. But could they do it themselves? Could they actually attack it and say, okay, if you're such an expert, let's see you do it. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't top what these people did in this film. It's an excellent concept, very well executed for the budget that they had, and they make very, very good use of the limited resources. All the love and effort was put into the art direction, the style. This guy's a very visual director, and I appreciate that. I also like the fact that they have a really kind of gritty, kind of, you know, barren feel. I personally enjoy science fiction that evokes a mood or a feeling. And the mood of isolation, you know, really goes well in this film. If you're stranded on a desert planet, you've got all this gear and you've got, you know, not only fighting the elements, but you're also fighting, you know, for your own life against an unseen enemy, you know, an alien enemy. You have no idea what they're capable of, their strengths, their weaknesses. You know, you just got to go find them and try to survive. That's a pretty cool concept, and it's executed very well in this film. But I don't want to ruin too much of it for you. I'm going to put a link down below to the Batman Dead End, and I'm also going to put a link to the trailer to this film. It's called Hunter Prey, directed by Sandy Cholera. He is somebody to look out for. I think he's going to be making some very cool stuff. He's definitely got an amazing comic book kind of talent approach to filmmaking. And if you can wrap your head around that, I think you'll enjoy the film. On the Dark Train review, I'm going to give this one 5 stars. Thanks for watching.